I think what, like 2 days ago I was D297 LP.
Oh wow, that's okay. That's basically Diamond One. Hey Chippy,
Yeah,
how you doing?
and then I fell back
Pretty
down.
good.
Okay. Oh, that's good to hear. How's your TFT been since the past week?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh God, I have no idea. I mean, it's been okay, I guess.
Okay, that's alright.
I'm still, I'm still struggling to do things, but it's fine. I'm not playing ranked because I don't like teammates or Nunu being meta.
Don't
It's
worry,
fine.
he just got nerfed, so you don't have to
I
worry about
saw.
that.
I'm
Now you just have
happy.
to worry about four Seraphine players.
Yep.
Yes.
Chinese Seraphine, very fun.
And I was watching Emily Wong's stream earlier, and she
Emily
was talking
Wang.
about Emily Wang. Sorry, yes, and she was talking about Mage Namzi being really strong. So
Oh, that's true. Mage got buffed. I've not tried that,
yeah,
so
the what was it? Mage. They wanted vertical mage to be good, right?
yeah,
In
because
Wasn't
general,
it's
that
never
wasn't that their
played.
reasoning?
Astral seems pretty strong now. Psalm seems pretty strong.
Yeah, I saw some at the top of the
Seraphine seems
the
pretty
mobalytics
strong.
thing.
Yeah. Hey Amber, how you doing?
I played one game of reroll Wukong, which didn't feel great.
Really? Bonky Kong is not back? I
Uh,
looked at the numbers. Deathblade is
I
such a
think
bad item, so
I think Jade is like decent. I don't know. It was a bad game because I didn't hit.
okay. Well,
I hit him like stage the end of the beginning of stage 4 and then just died.
I see, I see. Hey Wish,
So
Oh,
how you doing?
oh,
Hello?
don't know what.
My ping's a little scuffed.
oh, I
All
see.
good, all good.
I'm also playing a game right now, so
Wow, class is about to start and you're still in a game?
I'm in game. I'm sorry.
Well, we
Uh-huh.
did get the ping like 10 minutes before it was supposed
I
to
will
start,
Well,
say I
but
played.
it's
right?
the same time every week.
I
6
know,
p.m.
but like,
True,
PST.
true.
I always forget.
forgot. I forgot that there was a class. We're gonna go with that, okay?
That's fine.
Is Rageblade good on Ocean? Very important.
No, not good. If you have nothing better, then sure. Hey Body 360, how you doing? Welcome to the TFT class.
Hello, hello.
I
Hello,
had
hello.
a Seraphine with Randu and Sanctum. That was pretty good.
Okay, that does sound really good. Seraphine comp is broken. Okay, hello everyone. It is now 6 p.m. PST / 9 p.m. EST for those East Coasters. That means we're gonna get started. I know a couple people from the League scrims normally join, but I guess they'll have to join halfway through. Okay, hi everyone. Today's class is going to be on economy. So this was requested by a couple people last week, and you know what? I was like, okay, this is it because economy is super important. Okay, let's get started. If you have any questions throughout the presentation or I guess the class, just feel free to ask. Just unmute your mic, or if you don't want to talk, you can type them in the TFT chat with this voice channel. I will be taking a look. Okay, here's a table of contents for today. We're going to do a quick little intro. We're going to talk about managing your interest, when to level. We're going to talk about planning your stage 2 board, and reflection and Q&A. So you might be thinking to yourself, wow, economy, Max, I know economy. I'm a professional. Well, probably. But even though economy is one of the more basic and I guess newer, like new player things that are really important and something that you need to know, it's still really good to go over, and you might have a misconception or something. So yeah, let's get into it. First part, introduction to economy. So can someone tell me what is economy? So what is it? Just blurt out words or type in the chat. So economy as a whole, what is it?
It's your money. It's managing how much money you have and how much money you're getting per round and win streak, loss streak.
Okay.
When to roll down, it kind of includes all that stuff.
Okay, so you said like win streak, loss streak, managing your money, rolling down. you basically nailed it. So economy is your gold management. Okay, so this includes a couple factors. It includes interest, includes streaking, leveling, and rolling. So the first two are money, or I guess gold, or methods of getting gold or generating gold, interest and streaking. So we'll go into that later. And then leveling and rolling are ways to spend gold. So leveling, of course, gets you to a higher level. Higher levels, you can see stronger units, as this little flow chart says. And then stronger units generally lead to a stronger board. So leveling is super important if you're looking to play a non-reroll comp. And then rolling, also super important. Spend 2 gold, and then you can refresh your shop and buy units. Of course, having strong units will increase the strength of your board and will let you win some rounds. Also, rolling, you can now re-roll the treasure dragon shop, and even though it's only $1 each or 1 gold each, it still can add up. So you want to make sure that your gold management is super good, you're making plenty of money, and you're in a very flexible position where you can do anything you want, either roll, level if you need, and that all comes from early game, which we'll be talking about at the end of this video. We'll have a slide specifically dedicated to stage 2. So that's what economy is. So the first part, managing your interest. Interest is the first part of this, and we're going to talk about what it is. So interest provides +1 gold for each set of 10 gold you have at the end of the round. On the right, you're going to see a table here of the interest intervals, and it's pretty simple. You all probably know this like subconsciously, where you're just thinking like, oh, 10 makes 20, 20 makes 30. And then like when you're playing the game, you'll be thinking like, oh, I need to sell this to make the next interval of gold. But sometimes it's still good to see things like written out and on paper, or I guess on screen. The maximum you can get is +5 gold each round, which means that you can stay at 50 gold. There's a scenario where you can get +7, and then that's with the rich get richer augment, but that's a very specific case. So most of the time, 50 gold is the highest that you need to be. There's one other scenario where you want to be at 80, and that's if you have a shimmer scale item, just to get the maximum stats from that specific item. So interest, super basic concepts, but a really key component for playing TFT. Any questions on this so far? Okay, let's keep going. All right, so that's interest. Now let's talk about leveling. When to level. The win part is extremely important. I see people leveling in the most, not in the most, but I see people leveling in incorrect times. They either level too early, they either level too late. They level in a spot where they're using too much gold or extra 4 gold, or they're just not leveling when they should need to. So let's take a look. Okay, so what is leveling? Leveling is spending 4 gold to gain 4 XP. It's really simple. Hello, Lancelot, could you please mute your mic, please? Thank you. If you have any questions, then feel free to unmute, but thank you. Okay, yeah, so spending 4 gold to gain 4 XP. And then on the right here, I added a levels chart. Once again, something that you already know, or like probably subconsciously already know, but this is it all in paper. How much XP is required to get to the next level. Yeah, so remember for leveling, or XP wise, you always gain +2 every round passively. And there are scenarios where you can get like +3 if you have like clear mind or clutter mind. That's augment dependent. But this is a quick intro to leveling. So why is leveling important? Well, your current level equates to the number of units you can play. So let's just do a quick sample. If you're level 7, that means you can play 7 units. Remember, dragons count as 2. So then if you're adding a dragon, then really you could play quote unquote 6 units. But your level equates to the number of units you can play. Last but not least, leveling is important because it increases the odds of finding higher cost units in your shop. Okay, and so this is a quick intro into leveling. Now we're going to talk about when to level. Yeah, this is, if you're going to take anything away from this class, it should be about the screen. Maybe something later about stage 2 is also super important, but it's this table here. So general level timings. So you get your carousel item, you go into 1-2. 1-2, you're level 1. 1-3, you're level 2. And then 1-4, you're going to be level 3. Now, you can choose to either go level 4 or maintain level 3. for their first combat round, which is 2-1. And the deciding factor that you need to think about whether or not to pre-level or to stay level 3 is if you have one cost pairs. If you have one cost pairs, that means you want to stay level 3. You want to stay low level, and it'll give you a good chance to actually 2-star those one cost units. If you have no one cost pairs, so over here, if you have no one cost pairs or you need 3 cost units, then it's okay to pre-level and then give you that 15% chance to get a 3 cost and higher chances for getting 2 cost units. So that's only if you don't have one cost pairs. I'll show an example later, but that is whether or not you should pre-level or not. Then other general timings for level 5. So 2-5, this is the round right after carousel. So let's just do a quick, okay, it's gonna go 2-1, that's the first one. Okay, 2-2, and then 2-3. Everyone can see the marker, right? It should be good. And then,
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you. And then you're gonna have your carousel. This actually counts as 2-4. And then 2-5 is gonna be your 4th round. That's gonna be your 4th combat round. So at this point, if you're win streaking, you can level to 5, and it'll be a good interval for you to do it. So that's level 5. If you're lose streaking, then you can maintain 2-5 and 2-6 as level 4. It's not a big deal. You just want to make as much money as you can. Okay, here we go. We have this in bold. Level 6. You on stage 3-2, so stage 3, round 2, you go level 6. Always. If you're re-rolling a one cost comp, so either you're doing like Bonky Kong, like Wukong reroll, or like Karma reroll, or like Set reroll, then of course you don't level here because you want to stay level 5 and slow roll. But if you're playing conventional TFT on stage 3, round 2, you level to 6. Always. You might be thinking, oh, but you know, I'm at 50 gold, I could just stay level 5 and then level later. But that is one round or one more shop that you don't see level 6 shop odds. And we're in Dragonlands, right? Dragons, woohoo! They're high cost units. So the higher your level is, or not the higher the level, but you want to go higher levels in this set, especially in order to see better units. So level 6, 3-2, unless you're rerolling. Level 7, 3-5 is a very interesting case. If you have lost like the first, how much is it? Maybe like 8 rounds, and you really need like to turn things around, then you can go level 7 on 3-5 and stabilize. If not, your general timing will be 4-1, so stage 4 round 1, right after your wolves. And then level 8 will either be 4-2, so this is called a fast 8, and you do this on 2 conditions. Either 1, you're almost I shouldn't write dead, I'll just write low HP. If you're low HP and you have to like send it to get strong, then you can go level 8 on 4-2. Second condition is if you're like super rich. If you're super rich, and if these two are combined, like you're low HP and you're super rich, then definitely go 4-2. If none of these apply, then you can most likely just 4-5 it. The reason why 4-2, oh, here's a great question. Why would you not want to go level 8 on 4-3? Does anyone know?
It's an extra 4 gold because your XP timing is off.
Yes. So do you want to elaborate on what do you mean like XP timing is off?
Because you only get 2 XP per round naturally. If you don't level on a certain timer, like when you're on the 4 gold hit, then you have to spend an extra 4 gold to put in XP, which is just wasted if you're going 9, or if you're not planning on going 9, or if you're not planning on going to the next level, whatever it is.
Yep, you're 100% correct. So let's just go back real quick. So let's say we're looking at level 8, right? So we can see this, like 56 XP. So let's say you just got to level 7, right? So that means your XP bar is 0 out of 56. Now, as Upgrade explains, on a 4-3, so stage 4, round 3, I'll write this up here, you're at a bad timing. So this means that your number, so this is like your current XP, and then this is the XP for level 8 that you need to get to, right? So on like 4-2, maybe it's like I don't know what's interval 4, 12 out of 56, right? And then quick maths, it only costs 44 gold to level, right? Now let's say you gain 2 passive XP, right? So now it's 14 out of 56. It still also costs 44 gold to level, because you will get to oh, I can't do math. I can't do that type of math. Not right now. But it still costs 44 gold to level. So what you want to do is you want to wait till the next round, which is now 4-5. And now it's 16 out of 56. And now this 44 goes to 40. So the 2 times 2 level, which are good, is 4-2 and 4-5. 4-3, your current XP will be at like a odd interval of like not a multiple of 4. So you'll have to spend that extra 4 gold to level. So that's why 4-2 or 4-5 is the way to go. And then level 9, you can either go level 9 on 5-3, which is called fast 9, same thing. If you're super low HP, if you're super rich, or like a mix of both, then you could go level 9. Or your regular 9 can be either on 5-6 or 6-1. Now you might be thinking, okay, well Max said 4-2 is good. Yep. 4-3 is bad. Okay. And then 4-5 is good, where 4-4 is just carousel. So why is he saying 5-3 is now good and 5-6 is now good? It's because on Treasure Dragon, you don't actually get economy anymore, or it doesn't count as econ round. And Treasure Dragon is 4-7. So 4-5 is combat round, and then 4-5 is combat round. Then you have 4-6, and then you have Treasure Dragon. And after that Treasure Dragon round, which counts as PvE, you don't actually get any money. And your XP, you don't gain 2 XP either. So now the good intervals to level is like you have to plus like add 1 onto it. So now 5-1 is a good time to level. So I should even write that. It's very odd, but this is now like the convention. So just take a look here. Now 5-1 is a good time to level to 9. 5-3 is a good time to level 9. 5-6 is a good time to level 9. Just because on 4-7 you skip a econ round. So you just kind of have to. That's why it changes. So yeah. Any questions on this slide? We can spend a little bit of time on it. General level timings is super important in TFT. So I don't mind answering any questions, anything at all about when to level, why we level at the specific time, anything at all. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. So now we talked about a little introduction of economy. We talked about what interest is, why it's important. We talked about when to level and a quick little introduction on leveling. Now let's talk about stage 2. So stage 2 is all about economy. High emphasis on this. We're talking about economy. Stage 2 is all about economy. You have 5 combat rounds, right? 2-1, 2-2, 2-3. This is carousel 2-4, 2-5, 2-6, and then wolves is 2-7. So that means you have 5 combat rounds and then your PvE round in stage 2. You want to make as much money as you can. So going into stage 2, you have 2 options. You either want to win streak or you want to lose streak. And hopefully you get to a 5 win streak or a 5 lose streak. That is ideal. That's to make as much money as possible. And then here, we talked about this earlier for the level timings. Do not level to 4 on 2-1 if you have 1 cost pairs. Because your chance, it goes from I think 75% to see a 1 cost unit. It goes all the way down to I think like 55, I want to say. 55. So you lose a 20% to see your 1 cost units. And if you have like a lot of 1 cost pairs, just think like, okay, let's say you have Malphite pair, and then you have like Skarner pair, or you have like Ezreal pair, and you're sitting on a Twitch. So you want to stay level 3 for 2-1, which is the first combat round here, if you have 1 cost pairs. I see a lot of people like pre-level and they're thinking like, oh, I want to see the 3 costs right away, but then they're stuck with a weak 2-1 board, and then they like lose streak, and you also spent 4 gold early, which means that it's harder to make 10 gold. So that's stage 2. I say all about economy. HP is not as important here, because on stage 2 you're realistically, I think the most you can take is 11 damage, and that's if someone levels to 6, which is not very often, because then they ruin their economy. So normally it's the most you could take from 10, and that's a 5 unit loss, and most of the time you won't be getting 5-0'd, hopefully. So you can sacrifice a good amount of HP on stage 2 just to make as much money as you can. Make 10 gold, 10 makes 20, 20 makes 30. Not exactly, but it's a good thing and a good way to think about it. Okay, so you might be thinking, okay, so now we know to win streak, we know to lose streak if we can. But let's talk about making some money. So Astrals, you can play 3 Astrals. Okay. You want to play Nidalee as your main carry. You want to put attack damage items on here. So even though Rage Blade doesn't count as like an actual like it doesn't have 80 stats, it's still like attack damage, or it like helps you kill units. And then it's paired very well with other attack damage items. So like Death Blade, Titans, you can put any attack damage item on Nidalee, she will kill units. And then you can transition this into Xayah Graves on maybe level 7. So that's option 1. These are just like guidelines. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm playing Astrals early, I'm 100% going to Xayah. These are just like ways to transition. Lagoon, so then you could play like 3 Lagoon, start stacking up and getting some loot from your Sea Stone pendulum or Sea Stone thing. And then later you can transition this into Graves, Lagoon, which is like the Seraphine, the new Seraphine composition out there. I don't want to describe it all, but you could play Graves from Lagoon, or you could just play Psalm. So let's say you have like a blue buff, right? And then you put the blue buff on Talia, maybe even Kaisa early. You farm up a lot of stacks on Lagoon, you get some money, you get some items, and then you transition to Psalm Mages. There's your mid game. Last but not least, the third economy trait for stage 2 that is good is Mirage. A good way you could do this is you could play Yone. You could play like Nunu slash Leo Na, and then you pair a warrior with Yone. You have your front line, either Cavaliers or Guardian, depending on Nunu Leona. You get that little Pirate's chest after each round, and life is good. You're killing units because warriors are good. You have a solid front line with either Cavaliers or Guardians. You're getting money, and then you can transition this into anything you want. So 3 options of making economy on stage 2. You want to hold Astral, Lagoon, Mirage units if you can, and you want to make that money on stage 2. Then after stage 2 is done, you still have to worry about economy, but it's no longer your number 1 priority. Your priority is now making your strongest board, looking to win rounds, and think about your late game. So any questions on these 2 stage 2 slides?
So, should you keep your units to the minimum in stage 2 and sell the ones that doesn't synergize with the ones that you have on the board?
Generally, yes. So those that don't synergize well on your board, or those that are not playable, it is a good idea to sell them, especially if you can make econ, which means that you can make interest. So for example, let's say you're playing Astrals, right? So you're playing Astrals, and then maybe you're like 8 gold, and on your bench you have like a Talia and like, I don't know, who's another 1 cost unit, I guess a Karma. Then you're already playing Astrals, right? And then Talia doesn't fit in your board, Karma doesn't fit into your board. And then of course you make 10 gold. It gets a little trickier. So let's say like econ or interest is not in the question, right? You're at 0 gold, and currently you're playing like let's say you didn't hit Astral or Lagoon, but you're holding a ton of those units. Let's say you're holding like Nidalee Skarner pair, and then you're holding like Talia Malphite pair. And you might be thinking like, oh, should I just like sell and make 10? There, it's fine to not make econ, even though like those 2 don't synergize with each other, right? But by holding them, it gives you potential. Let's say the next round, oh, you hit Lagoon, bam, you sell the Astrals, you play Lagoon. Or you hit Astrals the next shot, bam, sell the Lagoons, play the Astrals. So generally, to answer your question, if it doesn't fit well on your board and you're not going to play it, sell it, that's fine. If you might play it, like might, that's the word, like if there's potential for it to be playable, then it's okay to keep.
Thank you. That makes sense.
Okay, great. Okay.
Especially like in the fact of where you would have like doubles of a 1 cost where it might get you a 2-star, or should you be looking at that?
Wait, your question is?
Like in the previous example where you're at 8 gold, right?
Yeah.
And you have 2 1 costs on the bench. If you're going, say you're trying to go Astrals, and you've got, your Astrals board, you've got a Skarner and a Nidalee and Vladimir on the board, and you've got a Vladimir and a Skarner on your bench, and you've got 8 gold, would you sell the Skarner and the Vladimir to hit that 10 gold, or would you keep them hoping to hit another one of them to get them up to 2-star?
So if this is your case, right? And let's say these are all 1-stars, right? So I
Yeah,
put
yeah.
a little thing here. Okay, that's a great question. So if you're looking, I think it depends on your items. I've had that actually doesn't even. If you have 80 items, you put on Nidalee. If you have like AP tank items, you could put on Vladimir. At this point, I think it's better to hold, because these units are going to be playable, and you could be thinking like, oh, I'm only gonna play 3 astrals and like make 10 gold, get that 1 gold from that astral orb. It's fine. I'll just stay. Oh, 1-stars. But next round, let's say you're gonna get an astral orb from this anyway, right? So like, ooh, a little orb comes. Let's say you pick it up, and then oh, it's Vladimir 2. Great. That already like increases your chance of killing a unit. And then let's say you also hit a Scar in next shop. Now, then the next round you can make econ. You'll be at like what, like 13, 14 maybe, probably 13. And then you have like 2-2-stars. So even though like, yeah, here you could just make econ, and like astrals is going to give you money anyway, you're sitting on 2 pairs and you're most likely going to hit them. So here it would be a scenario where it's better to just hold on to them.
Would it change if it was Lagoon, or if it was something else, like say 2 Cavaliers and something else?
Cavaliers I definitely sell. Lagoon is a maybe. So Astrals is important. Is really important to hold, because your reward from your drop is based off of your total star level. So like 2-starring your Astrals is actually like super important, but Lagoons is not as important because they only stack up from casts. So it doesn't actually matter the star level of Lagoons. And unless you're actually looking to play Lagoons, you could just transition out of them on 3-1, maybe 3-2 after you get 80 stacks. So probably yes to your first one, where it's like you hold the Skarner, you hold the Vladimir. You're probably going to 2-star them, and it's fine that you don't make econ for... This is probably looking at like 2-1, like your first round. And then for Lagoon and Cavaliers, yeah, I would sell them, make 10. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going.
Sorry.
Oh, no, never be sorry. We have... This is TFT time. You come to the class, you are able to ask any questions you want. I'll try to answer them the best that I can, and yeah. So quick example. So now you might be thinking, okay, well, Max keeps telling us like, okay, don't pre-level if you have 1-cost pairs, right? So then now in your games you can be thinking, oh, do I have 1-cost pairs? Do I want to pre-level or not? I'm gonna show you a quick example. It didn't work on the slideshow, so I'll just have to show you in a scuffed way. Okay. Hopefully everyone can see this. This is from one of my games. This is going into 2-1, right? So remember, so look here, I'm holding astrals, right? Okay, get the orb. Okay, pick up the money. I have a chance to pre-level here if I want, but let's take a quick look. Okay, here we go. Oh, I can't write. Okay, that's fine. I'll just point with my cursor then. Okay. Nidalee pair on the board. Okay, Vladimir. Okay, so that's fine. 2 out of 3 astrals. I'm looking for another astral, hopefully a Skarner or a Lux. 75% chance for a 1-cost, so Skarner's probably pretty likely right now. 25% for Lux. It goes up to 30 if you're pre-level. Okay, so right off the bat, pre-level, not looking good. Number 2, Nidalee pair. Nidalee is really good for killing units, like really good for killing units. I have 80 items. I can even slam an Infinity Edge if I want. Nidalee 2, I'm probably even going to win rounds. And then, okay, Sun pair, yeah, that's fine. So, just looking from the spot, this would be no pre-level. Don't pre-level, just stay level 3. And then hopefully it hit Skarner, hopefully it hit your Nidalee, maybe hit Senna 2. You have 2 Guardians, those aren't paired, but it's fine. Let's say we did want to pre-level. We would most likely sell this Talia, right? Because we already have 2 out of 3 Astral, but only 1 out of 3 Lagoon. And also, I don't have any mana regeneration items like Blue Buff or Shojin, which means that Lagoon isn't even that good right now because they won't be able to cast very often because I don't have any items for them. So Talia is out. Only have 1 out of 3 jade from my entire board for karma, so karma's out. Now I'm at 3 gold. And then this last one, honestly, I'd probably sell the Sejuani because I want to keep the guardian pair in case I don't hit anything else. But let's say I pre-leveled, right? And now I could see 3 cost units. The only... Okay, well, Diana's would not be that great here because you have to pair it with Assassin. Maybe it will scale Scorn. So let's say I pre-level, I hit Diana. Okay, not even that good. Yeah, Rengar would be good, but that's a small chance of hitting. So here, it's a lot better to just stay level 3. And let's see how I got rewarded, okay? Alright, from this, I Essence Theft, okay. Yeah, I'll do even a little bit of a bonus lesson. We go into augments a little bit. Essence Theft, okay, looking at my items, this is not Essence Theft game or Mage game. I have 2 swords and a glove. Okay, Battle Mage, once again, I have 2 swords and a glove. Gear upgrades. Oh, this is an instant Twitch reroll game. We take it after a little bit of hesitation, and then boom. So this is why you stay level 3. 75% chance, right? And a 75% chance to see a 1 cost unit. And I'm already holding like a ton of pairs. So you'll have Nidalee pair, I have Sun pair, and I even have a Sejuani. This is instantly a Nidalee 2, a Senna 2, Sejuani 2, and I have great items for like Twitch. So this is how you play your early game. And then you can generate your board from there. If you think you could win streak because you have strong 2 cost units and you have good items to slam and a good augment, hopefully combat augment, then you can level to 4. So you see here, I'm just thinking like, can I actually streak with this board? I'm like, yeah, I can. I have 3 2 costs. I have good augments. I have really good board. I have good items. And then this is my board. And then I made Deathblade. And then I even put the glove on Sejuani for gear upgrades. And this is my board.
So
Anyone?
you keep the Vladimir because if you win, then you can buy the other Vladimir from the shop and have a Vladimir pair.
Yes, exactly. So I keep it here. If I win, then get a Vladimir pair. And then like, it's not better than anything right now. But let's say in 2 turns I still haven't hit anything, but I did hit the Vladimir 2. Then I could go level 5 on 2-3 just because like I'm super ahead, and then play like extra 2-star unit. So that's my way of thinking. And then this game, yeah, I played Twitch reroll, and I think I went on like a 14 game win streak just from the start. So that's how you want to take a look at your early game. Because look at this board. This board's insane right now. 3 2-stars, a Twitch with 2 guild, gear upgrades. So he's getting what 13% attack speed times 2.5. So that's a lot. And then Sejuani is super tanky because she has gear upgrades after I put on the glove. So super strong board. But we went into it looking like this. And if I pre-leveled, I definitely... Okay, I can't say definitely because there's still a chance, but I most likely would not have been able to hit this board. So you might be thinking like, oh, if I'm looking to win streak, I have to pre-level, you know, strong. But that's not always the case. So any questions on this example? Okay, great. Let's see if I can go back to this. Okay, I showed the example, and then here we go. Final economy tips, nearing the end here. You might already know, but these gold generators indicate how much gold a player has. 1 equals 10. Can show all the way up to 50. If they're at 80, you can't see, so you just think a minimum 50. This is good because if you look around and you see someone has full gold, that means that they still have a lot of power that they haven't used yet. They can either level, they can either roll down, and hopefully you face them now because they haven't rolled down yet or all in. If someone has 0, then if it's not early game and they have 0, you know that they've all in, they've rolled down all their gold, they've leveled, and they've spiked. So that's a good way to tell who's strong or who's yeah, it is a good way to tell who's strong and who's not. So that's number 1. Maintain 50 gold as often as possible, so you make that +5. The way economy works is after I think stage 1-2, you get +5 guaranteed every round. You can make all the way up to +5 from interest. So I'll put interest here. This is passive. You gain +1 from winning a combat round. And then you could get +3 for win/lose streak. So in total, you can gain 5, 10, 11, 14. You get normally without like any augments or like special like econ traits, you could gain 14 gold per round, and that is that's the way to go. So try to maintain 50 gold as much as possible. Last but not least, don't sell a unit on bench to make interest if that unit is going to be played soon or is 100% going to be played. So number one is like if the unit is going to be played soon. So that's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to play it soon in this round, maybe next round, or sorry, next round or the round after, then keep it. 100% going to be played. What this means is, let's say we are playing Astrals early, right? And our items is like Rage Blade and like Infinity Edge. And you have like a Sejuani 2 on bench. It's fine to just keep that Sejuani 2 on bench. Maybe lose a little bit interest, doesn't feel great, but you know that with those items, you're most likely going to Xayah, right? If you just have Rage Blade and like, I don't know, just Rage Blade and like frontline items, you can even flex into Deja if the Mirage is played. So number one, don't sell it if it's going to be played soon. Number two, if it's 100% going to be played, you can keep it as well. Okay, so that is the presentation on economy. If there's one thing to take away from this presentation, once again, it is this chart. Level 6, 3-2, unless you're rerolling. That's good. If you are able to do this in this game, I can guarantee you, you're going to at least place a little bit better or like have a little bit of a better time in every single one of your games if you go level 6 on 3-2, unless you're rerolling. So that's good. One thing at a time, one lesson at a time. And yeah, so that concludes the lesson. We're now in our Q&A session. If anyone has any questions or anything they want to, I guess, talk about, then this is the time.
Going back to the chart you just had.
Yep.
When you're rolling down, how far do you want to roll down? Like, say it's 4-1 and I hit 7 and I need to roll down. Obviously, it's different if I'm bleeding and I need to stabilize, or if I hit 7 and I'm gonna roll. Obviously, you don't want to completely drain your economy because then it'll take too long to get back. So if you're struggling, rolling down to like 20 gold, rolling down, how far do you want to go?
Okay, you just want to keep rolling. You want to keep rolling until you've stabilized. So this can mean 30 gold, this can mean 20 gold, this can mean 10 gold. This, I don't know how to spell this word. Okay, I'm just gonna erase it. Stabilize. You have to keep rolling until your board is stabilized. So it could mean any number of gold. You just have to keep going until you are stable. Because think, if you level 7, which everyone also should on 4-1, level 7, that's like the second commandment. The first commandment being level 6 and 3-2. Then if you are leveling to 7 or rolling, that means you are attempting to get stronger to win rounds, right? So you have to keep rolling until you are stable or strong. Ideally, you stop at 10. That is my point. If you really rolled all the way down to 10 and your board is still like super weak and you're holding maybe like 4 cost pairs, then you can go sub 10 and hopefully hit one of them. But you should also be setting yourself up for success. If you are going into 4-1, you should have like a lot of money and almost be level 7. Like hopefully like 50 gold, level 7 type of thing. So then when you roll down and you're going all the way down to like maybe 20 or 10, you would have already rolled like maybe 30 gold on level 7 and been able to 2-star a 4 cost unit. So to answer your question, I would, the lowest I would go, unless absolutely necessary, is 10. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? All right. So that has been today's class. Next week. So every week we do TFT. Well, I do TFT masterclasses here at 6 p.m. PST or 9 p.m. EST. At the end, I like to ask if there's any topics that people want specifically taught. And if it's a common thing between a few people, then perhaps that will be the class that I teach. So if you have any ideas, then you can either tell me here, you could type in the chat, you could DM me, you could type in the TFT chat. These classes are to help the community learn more and improve. So I'm happy to do anything. That has been everything for today. So normally we play some in-houses after, since there's no more TFT arenas. So if anyone is interested for that, then you guys can create a lobby, maybe share your screens, and just test out the new patch today. Jade and Lagoon are the new strong things. So if you're looking to test them out in some games, have some fun, play some friendly C9TG in-houses, then this is the time. Any other questions before we end off here? Or end off the class?
Did they remove Ezreal? Did they remove Ezreal?
Like from the game?
Yes.
No. No, they did not.
Yeah,
Patches
I
cannot have removal of units. They'll have to be with like
They can
new
change
sets.
out units though, right? I mean, I know I rarely
Just the
disappeared for
mid-patch
some
update.
time.
Sorry, what did you say?
Just the mid-patch update.
Yeah, with like
It's
new
just sets.
new sets, then that's where like the changes of like actual units come. But between patches, it's just numerical, or like effect based, or like ability based. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
So you said Jade is good now.
Jade is good. Karma got buffed. Wukong got buffed.
Like-
Xiaoyu got buffed.
So you're saying we can go vertical Jade, and it's like not an actually like awful comp.
Okay, let me rephrase myself. Jade is no longer really bad.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Is it like back to like set 7 Jade where I can like, just go Jade?
Just